All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Brian. I think we also might have Forex Joe here with us. And today is Tuesday, January 17th. We're here for Forex Live. And as always, what we'll be doing is implementing the trading strategy from Forex Joe in live market conditions. So we'll be taking the daily regimen and applying that along with the daily report and Forex Joe's alerts to the current market, see if we can find some trades that are profitable for us. Before we get started, we do need to let you know that unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results. I think everyone here understands that. We know, probably have this slide memorized at some level, but I am going to pause for just a second and give you an opportunity to read through that, and we'll get started. All right, that should be long enough. Okay, let's go ahead and close this down, and we'll jump into it. What we should have open right now, we should have a trading terminal. Everyone should have a trading terminal open. We should also have a news source, so like Forex Factory or others. We'll need our futures dashboard, which we use on finviz.com. We'll get to that in a second. And then, of course, we should have our daily regimen for live trading and the daily report open. And this daily trading regimen, again, for the brand new people, this is found on your in your members area. You can find it in a couple of places in the downloads tab. It's also right here in the schedule section. So when you want to look at the schedule for the live classes in that area, there is a right above that. There's a link to the PDF or the Word document, whichever you choose to use. I still like to print these out and write on them, although I know some people are a little more technologically advanced and just keep Word docs of it, but whatever works for you. All right, so this is what we'll be doing for the day. And now let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to capture some information. We're going to capture some data. And then once we have all the data captured, then we can go through and look for our trades. So we're going to begin, as always, with the Euro USD. And this process is the same no matter what currency pairs you're trading. But we're going to focus on three today: the Euro USD, the Pound USD, and then, of course, either the US Yen or the Aussie. But we'll get that one in a second. So right now, this Euro USD is trading at 37.51. So current price, 37.51. Next thing we want to do is capture our channel information. So we'll go over to the daily report, which is found here, and we'll look for our channels. And what we see for the day is that we have a channel bottom at 37.28 and a channel top at 38.13. Do you see anything that is unique about this? I shouldn't say unique, anything that's special about this. And right here we see that 37.28 is lining up as a bottom for our weekly and our daily channel bottoms. So these two, we have a 2 of 3 alignment here. So 2 of 3 of our channels are in alignment at 37.28. Next up is to look for our support and our resistance areas. And let's see, we're trading at 37.51. So what do we see? Well, down below us we have support at 37.44. And then if it breaks through there, 37.08. And then to the upside for resistance, we have 37.63. And then above that, 37.97. All right. Okay, so we've got those captured. Next thing we're going to do is have a look at the market itself. Are we trending or are we oscillating for the day? And looks like right now we're in a bit of an oscillating market. So we're oscillating for the day. The big question there, though, is have we broken our channels? Have we broken above 38.13 or below 37.28? And the answer there is no. Channels have not been broken. Next up, what's our average range? There's another good indicator of what's actually happening for the day is what is our average daily range? Well, today we've moved about 37 pips. So every bit of 37 pips. And our average range on this pair has been about 70 to 80 as of late. Typically under standard markets, we know it moves about 100 pips, but 70 pips or so has been about the end of the range for the euro on most days. The last thing we're going to have a look at, or last two things we're going to have a look at, is what's happening in news and what is happening in futures markets. So first up is news, and we look here to see what potential pitfalls might be facing us later on today. So are there any major news events that we should be aware of? And the major news events are typically color-coded as yellow. Or I'm yellow. I point to red and I say yellow as red. So we look for the red reports here to see what potential market-moving events might be occurring. And we do see that coming up here in about an hour and a half, we have Bank of England Governor Carney will be speaking. So we'll want to make sure that we keep that in mind as we look for potential trades. We've got some time, so I think we'll be okay as far as looking for some trading opportunities. But we do want to be cognizant of the fact that we do have a major announcement coming up here at 10:30. Then after that, it's clear sailing. So the last thing we'll have a look at here before we go and look for potential trades is we want to see what the futures market is doing. And what we can see here on our futures dashboard is we see it's kind of a mixed market. The Dow is slightly up, crude slightly up, but gold and silver are down. So the three that we look at, or the four that we look at here, it's kind of a mixed bag when we look at it. And we see that here as well. If we just look at the overall dashboard, it's kind of a mixed bag. Typically, and again, I know I repeat myself a lot, but it's consistency, right? So, for those that are brand new and don't understand why we're looking at this, we look here to see what's really going on. If money is flowing into futures, it flows out of the dollar. And then conversely, if money is flowing out of futures, it's flowing back into the dollar. And that's just because as we cash out positions along here, we're holding those positions liquid in U.S. dollars. Then as we take new positions here, we're cashing out U.S. dollar positions and putting them elsewhere, which causes the dollar to weaken. So we just look at the futures market to get an idea for dollar strength or dollar weakness. All right, so now we've gathered a bunch of data, and now we can go over and place some trades. So what we've accomplished here is we've kept our finger off the button so we don't make any impulsive decisions, and now we can actually look for some trades to see where the best potential setups will lie. So with that said, let's go ahead and put some lines in the chart just so we can know where the key levels were that we were looking at. So first off, 37.28. That's a 2 of 3 channel. That's also our channel bottom for the day. It's a big level. Then we also had 38.13, which is right up here, kind of the top of this thermal grid. Close enough. And then right now we have 37.44. Is, if I can get without dragging everything else around, is right here. And then we have 37.63 as our other level that we're watching. All right. So kind of caught in this range right here, aren't we? This 37.63 was resistance towards the end of the U.S. session yesterday, broke through during Tokyo. Came back and retested it a couple of times in London, broke it, came back, retested it now, and now we've broken back down. So where are we going to look? We're in kind of a range-bound market right now. We do have some major news coming up from Bank of England here shortly, but I don't know that it'll have too much of an impact on us. It might because we're in such a thin market. So let's have a look here. I think what I'll do is keep it kind of tight today. So let's see if we can find some tighter moves. Of course, I'm using Chart Trader or Pending Order. So the template I'm using on this is the FTT Pending Order Pro. You could also use just Pending Order Pro if you don't want the thermal grids or the session indicators on there. So let's go ahead and place some trades. What I'm going to do is I'm going to park a buy. If I can get my sell line out of the way. So what I'm going to do is park a buy. I'm going to get the sell line out of the way right here. Got a bunch of lines all jumbled up here in one spot. All right. What I'm doing is just I'm clicking and moving some of my lines that I'm going to move elsewhere out of the way so I can get on this trade. So we're going to park a buy here at 37.44, which is a resistance area for us. And we're going to keep our stop pretty darn tight. And let me just get that buy on in case it pops back down there in a second. So we're going to have this buy on. And then I'm going to look to take profit quickly as well. So we're keeping our stop tight. We'll also keep our take profit 1 tight. And then I'll look to take profit 2 up here at this resistance area. And then for my sell, I'll kind of look at the same thing but backwards. I'm going to take profit 2 here. I'm going to peel off mine here. And we're going to take the trade here. And we're going to keep our stop really tight. So what I'm doing is just really playing within this range right now. It's a range-bound market. We haven't seen a lot of movement. The last couple of days have been range-bound, and we expect it to stay that way. So with that, I'm just simply looking at a key area of support here, and we'll see if we can get a quick trade off of this, get some profit, and then play a bounce again off of this level if it comes back to retest 37.63. All right, so that's what we have there. Next one up, pound USD. So currently on the pound USD, we are currently trading at 62.79. 279. And again, over to the daily report, wherever it might be. Over to the daily report here, and we see that we have a channel bottom at 62.61 and a channel top at 63.22. No alignment there as far as additional channels at the immediate level. We do see 60.44 down here as a key level for us. If we do push on and get back to 60.44, that's been a really big level for this pound actually a couple of times this year. So we've seen 60.44 quite a bit. If we do push back down there, great number to look at. But for now, on this on our day for today, we don't really see anything beyond 62.61, 63.22. No stars aligning or channels aligning at those levels. So then the next up, we're going to pick our support and resistance areas. So what do we see? Well, we're at 62.79. So we have resistance above us at 62.91, oops, 92, and then we have resistance below us at 62.61. If we break below that, 62.14 becomes our next level down, and if we go above, we have at 63.18 to the upside. Okay, now some questions. Are we trending or oscillating for the day? Now it looks like we're in a bit of a downward trend. So we are trending down. But the big question there, before we really confirm that, is have we broken below 62.61 or above 63.22? And the breaking above 63.22, yes, it did. It broke above. It was rejected. And as far as breaking below 62.61, it did here again. It broke below that low. It was rejected, came back, retested it for a bit, broke it again, and then rejected off of there. So it looks like that channel bottom is holding up pretty well so far. So we actually did break. Technically, we closed above both on both sides. What's the range, though? So today we've moved, does that say 70 or 79? I can't read it. Let's look. Today, top to bottom, we've moved 79 pips. 79 pips, and that's on an average range of about 80. So we're pretty much the bottom of a range right here. We do know that this currency pair can stretch its legs a bit and give us 100 to 110 under normal market conditions. So, but right now it looks like we're kind of staying within that this range, and we're really repelling quite a bit off of that channel bottom. Of course, we know that there is news coming up on this currency at 10:30 Eastern, so that here in about hour and 15 minutes. And as far as the futures market goes, we know that's fairly mixed. We're not going to have seen a lot of change in that in the last couple of minutes. So let's go ahead and have a look here for where we'd like to place our trades. The first one that stands out to me, I'm sure stands out to you directly, is looking for that buy off of the 62.61. Key area right here. We've seen it respected a couple of times already today. So let's go ahead and put that there. Sounds like I got stopped out on my Euro trade. Just had a little more momentum to the downside than I was expecting. That's okay. We have winners and we have losers, and this is a time of year where it's really tough to trade. Most of us are not trading live, by the way, beginning last Friday. So Friday was it for me for live trading. I'll still do the classes and obviously still trade on the demo account, but for live trading, most of your market makers have taken a vacation. You got your C players that are there manning the desks over the holiday period, and they won't be back. The big guys won't be back until after non-farm payroll in January. And I think we've mentioned that over the course of the last few classes, but let's just mention it again today, just so everyone knows where the thought processes are. So I'm going to go ahead and place this here and see if we can look to buy when we come back down to the 62.61. And as far as our sells go, where would we be looking for a potential sell? Well, we've got 62.92 big level. We also have a thermal grid right here at 62.96. So this is an area that was well supported. It was broken. It has not been retested yet. So I will look to sell off of that area if we can get back there for a retest. Now my lines are kind of hiding out on me here, so let's just find those. There we go. And again, as always, I'm keeping my profit taking quick, and I'm keeping my my risk tight as well. So there we go. That sell on right there. Good to go. So again, I'm parking a buy down here. Channel bottom. It's also a support resistance level, so it gives us some additional support there. And then I'm looking to park my sell on a retest of this grid at 62.96 and staying a little bit above the 6,300 mark if we do push back there to for my stop loss. But I'm keeping my stop loss tight just so that we're not risking 30 pips to make 5 or anything of that nature. All right, we'll do this one more time, and repetition is the mother of skill, right? We'll do it one more time and see what we can find. Let's do the U.S. yen. And we'll apply the template again just to get a fresh template here. And the U.S. yen is currently trading at 102.96. And what do we see for channel information? Let's pop over here and have a look. All right, U.S. yen. Well, we have a channel bottom at 102.50 and a channel top at 103.14. And again, no real alignment here that we can see immediately on our current daily top or daily bottom, so no alignment there. For support and resistance areas, what do we see? Well, let's have a look here. We're currently trading at 102.96. Which is right there at a key level. We're at 102.95, so we'll circle that. That's kind of our decision point. To the low side, 102.63, followed by 102.50, which is also our channel bottom. And to the upside, 103.14, which is also our channel top. And if it breaks through there, 103.47. All right. Great. So we got some good info. Trending or oscillating, though, on this one? Well, looks like we're oscillating. I think we would all agree. Oscillating. I mean, it is a slight downward trend, but definitely oscillating. We've only moved 25 pips. And, the big question is, have we broken any channels? Have we broken above 103.14 or below 102.50? And the answer to both of those is no, we have not. We know what news is coming up, and we know what the futures market is doing, although that might change a little bit as we have our floor traders come online here in about half an hour or so. or half an hour, 10 minutes or so. All right, so with that said, where do we look? Well, we have our support resistance levels, 103, let's just put those in, our channel top, 103.14, which is right up here. Our channel bottom, 102.50, which is actually off the page, right down here. And then our compressed channels, 103.14 still there, 102.63 down here. But even more immediately, what do we see? Well, we have, if we compress the channel a little bit, we've got 103. So that whole number right there, it's a thermal grid. It's also if we just simply look through where we were seeing resistance yesterday, we're able to see it kept coming to 103 and repelling, and then finally broke through at the end of the day, and now it's broken back down below with one retest. So for me personally, I would look to take a retest again on 103. I would short it off of that whole number. Whole numbers always are pretty exciting. Typically, you're going to see some indecision around that. Typically, once the first time it gets there, it'll bounce. Doesn't mean it always will, but typically it will. And if we need to build in one kind of on the scalp, on the downside, we can look right through here. If we compress the channel a little bit more, we can look right through here at this 102.90, so it's about a 10-pip channel that we're in. It's amazing how low these things are lately with news and whatnot, being such a range-bound market. We do have some pretty exciting news coming up on Wednesday that might be a catalyst for some end-of-the-year moves. We'll see. Again, we'll take profit quickly. So we're having our risk at about 5 pips, and we'll take profit 1 at about 5 pips, and then take profit 2 a little higher. Right there, slightly above that 103 level. So, got those on. We go ahead and we click Move to Buy and Sell, and we are set to go. So the ultimate goal here is to utilize the daily regimen so we have a consistent method for entering the market every single time, no matter what day it is, no matter what time of year it is. We want to have a consistent method for entering our trades. Obviously, there are going to be times that we don't trade, but we do need to always have a consistent method for doing it so that we can have consistent results. If we always have consistency and if we take some notes as to what we're doing, then if we have trades that are frequently going against us, we can go back and look to see if there was something that we did wrong. You are going to have losses. We're always going to have losses. That's part of trading. If you don't have losses, then you're not in the market taking risk. You're definitely going to have losses, but it's just part of it. Just because you have a loss, it does not mean that you did anything wrong. It just you did your analysis, you placed your trade, and sometimes they're not going to move in your direction, and that's just part of it. That's okay. We have to be able to accept that as traders and have the proper mindset to accept that, so that we don't let those losses control us and get into a position where we're trying to get back at the market or get the money back or revenge trade. That's just a recipe for disaster. That's how accounts are blown. All right, so that's it for me. We've got a couple of trades on. We talked through the methodology, and I think everyone has got a good grasp of that. If you have any questions, please type them in. Otherwise, I'll turn it over to Forex Joe and let him provide his insight for the day as well.
Okay, good morning, Brian. Folks, we're going to be range bound for the rest of the day. So basically, if you're trading, you need to be a scalper or a day trader and take profits at 10 to 12 pips, get in and out the door. If you're a swing trader, get rested tonight, and then I would set all trades. Once the report gets out tonight, I'll be sending out 2 reports. I'll be sending out a report, a regular report. I'll be sending out a roundtable report. No matter what your current status is, whatever trades that I send, the minute I get them sent, put them in a practice regiment demo account. Then if you're trading live, go ahead and use the numbers under current market conditions with the numbers that I have with the report. Now this helps in 2 ways. Number one, we already have the trade set, so if some of you are not trading in the Asian session or the London session, You already have a possibility of seeing how the currencies have moved once you turn on your computer tomorrow morning if you're trading in the U.S. session and leading into tomorrow afternoon's announcement. The FOMC announcement tomorrow will be at, I think, 2 o'clock Eastern. Let me confirm that. I just had this open. I got a whole bunch of areas open here. I'm trying to do 2 or 3 things at once, and you all know when your fearless leader gets trying to do 2 or 3 things at once, it gets confused, would be a good word. Yeah, 2 o'clock Central, or 2 o'clock Eastern, tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central. So that announcement is going to cause some movement. I don't know what movement it'll be, but there will be some volatility because there's not going to be as many traders into the market. But I've also heard that a lot of traders are going to come just to see what happens and get prepared for the end of the year, seeing what happens with this announcement. Now, tomorrow, they've also got U.S. housing starts. We've got a labor market report from the pound at 4:30 in the morning Eastern. We also have New Zealand gross domestic product tomorrow afternoon at 6:45. I think that one could also move the new Kiwi dollar if the Kiwi dollar is moving, if we get some movement in the commodity traders. From the commodities, not the commodity, but for those of you that are commodity traders, the commodities could move and could cause the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar to move. We also had the Bank of Japan interest rate announcement late Wednesday night going into Thursday after midnight Eastern. So we're going to have a period of time from 4 o'clock Central, when I put out the report later on today, 5 o'clock Eastern, going all the way into tomorrow night where there will be some movement. So be rested if you're going to trade and trade those areas. One thing to understand is that we are hearing conflicting reports. Now, you've seen what I've written. I've talked about that it doesn't make much sense to do any type of tapering, but here's the difference from tapering and stopping. Tapering means that we're doing $84 billion a month, which is $1 trillion a year, which, 5-10 years ago, it was unheard of. Now it seems to be commonplace because we've been trained like sheep that $1 trillion here and $1 trillion there doesn't mean anything. We've also got a budget in place. The budget is in place that has kind of kept the euro right around this 137 range. Right now, we've seen the euro be right around the 37.28 to the 3,800 range, and that's where I expect it to be for the rest of this day. The only way to push out of that range is if you see the Dow take off 150 to 200 points one direction. Now, gold's already down. The last I looked was $10 or $11 since last night. We've had this movement. That's what caused the dollar, the euro dollar, went all the way up to around 37.80, 37.85, and it bounced back down. It's because gold was down last night. Now we've got the Dow getting ready to start, and if the Dow takes off in any direction, that will be your key. So right now, under current market conditions, if you're playing, stand by, I got to get, excuse me for a second, let me grab some water. But if you're playing under current market conditions, last I looked, we were right around 37.40. I would look at 37.30 and 37.50 as breakout areas once the Dow opens, and then take your 5 to 10 pips, get in and out the door. If it pushes above 37.50, then, of course, the high of the day is right around 37.80. That's all you're looking for. If it pushes below 37.30 area, then you've got 37.29, which we all know is a key area, or 37.28. So you've got some areas that we are near that will give you guidelines if you're going to push, if you're going to be trading. Otherwise, don't get greedy. Take your 5 to 10 pips. Go ahead, take profit 1, then take profit 2. You'll probably get bounced back, and you'll get an opportunity. Understand that the euro's only moved. Take a look at what's happened the last 6 sessions. If you have the report, it's averaged between, 650 to 69 pips the last 6 sessions. Probably look for the same today unless the Dow goes absolutely crazy. Now, let's get ready for tomorrow. There's going to be movement, as I alluded to earlier. First, you'll have the FOMC announcement at 2 o'clock. The big key will be 30 minutes later when the press conference hits. The press conference will be the last press conference, well, next to the last press conference for Bernanke, who's going to retire at the end of January. It'll be interesting to see what he says and if it will cause movement. It will be volatile, but it could be much ado about nothing, to where you have a situation where it could move X amount of pips and end up right back where it started because of what's happening with the lower volume. Now, the odds for tapering or not tapering has strong arguments on both sides. All the traders that are currently trading are cautiously preparing, and there might be a surprise. What I'm talking about in a surprise is that they could throw us a curveball and they could taper 10 billion. Now, on the scheme of things, from 84 billion to 10 billion in limited markets at the end of the year would not be much, but it might be a PR move. That could cause a little bit of movement to where you'd have rumor versus fact, where you'd have people that are less experienced jumping in and trying to just catch the train. So whichever direction this goes, the train would get involved and then it would come flying back. I don't look logically, I talked about this a couple months ago, that March 2014 would be the catalyst of when this would happen. With everything that's taken place, with all the data that we have, all the positive data, with the fact that they've got a budget in place, even though it's not a good budget, but it's a budget to push it through the elections because both the Democrats and Republicans are getting pounded into submission, that could push back from March to February if the good data and the jobs report stays above 200,000. We still have a lot of information forthcoming that will determine whether it'll be February or March. But once again, Will Bernanke, who's going out in January, quantitative easing was his baby. Will he make a fundamental decision along with the rest of the group and try to just start the tapering to where it's not a full-fledged, we're going to cut you off and you're going to have go through withdrawal and into rehab immediately, but we're going to start to wing you off with just 10 billion. So that will be the key area, okay, under current market conditions that you're going to be looking at. The other part of the equation is you have the U.S. yen under 103. Okay? Anytime it goes below 103, or 103 is 01 is where it hit, and then it hit the 102.80 area. So it's just sitting there. It's looking for a sense of direction. So this is a day that if you're a scalper or day trader, get in, get your 4, 5, 6 pips, get out, look for any movements because of what's happening with what you've been trained, and then get ready for tomorrow. If you're a swing position trader, take all the trades that we're going to give you tonight, take a look at the main top 10 or 12 pairs. Take a look at the top 7 pairs, also look at the Euro Yen, Pound Yen, Aussie Yen, Euro Aussie, and take a look at those numbers, set those trades in a practice regimen account, and in whatever time that you're trading live, go ahead and use the numbers and see what's happening under current market conditions. That is what I would suggest. That's what you need to be doing. We will be back here Thursday morning. We'll assess what happened with all these announcements. Also on Thursday morning, we have retail sales at 4:30 in the morning. And then just before our class, we have U.S. existing home sales. And then on Friday, we got the GDP, gross domestic product, for both the pound and the U.S. dollar. So we've got a lot of opportunity here for a little bit of movement. I don't know if we're going to bust out anywhere. So those of you that are range-bound traders, get prepared. And if you're swing traders, you might be putting your weapons down unless we break out of certain areas. I would continue to sell the Euro US dollar anytime it goes above 138, and we sell the rallies. We've been talking about that. I've also sent out some other information on some other pairs. Follow that. Everything's still in vogue. So, Brian, I'll turn it back over to you. If there's any questions, I'll answer any questions. Otherwise, we'll get ready. Volatilities, once again, I want this to be perfectly clear, okay? Volatility is going to rise here in the next 24 hours. The key will be, will they find it in their hearts to start the winging off of tapering with only 10 billion? Logic tells me no. but logic doesn't run these markets anymore. We've all been surprised. If they do taper by just 10 billion, there will be an overreaction. Trust me. There will be an overreaction. That'll be good as Forex traders because we'll be able to have movement, which gives us pips. But don't get locked in if they do taper for 10 billion, okay, unless you start seeing some other areas where gold sells off a bunch, the Dow starts coming down or takes off, and we could have some aberrations. In other words, if they taper 10 billion and gold sells off and it gets down near 1200 and the Dow goes above 16,000, the euro US dollar could still come down and break below 3,700 and test below 3,700, which would be an aberration. So be ready. Make sure you have all your charts. Brian's done a superb job of showing you how you can have just a few charts in front of you open. Follow the numbers. Know the next numbers in the sequence. If you're trading live, if you can't trade 2, 3, 4 pairs because it's too much pressure, focus on one. In a practice regimen account, set the trades and then monitor if you're not trading live so you can gain experience and see what you would be doing under current market conditions if you were trading live. Use it as a simulation. Remember, all pilots, before they take off, are in what's called simulations. They get into certain situations in a simulation to see how they react under stress. If you use that analogy in a practice regimen demo account, you are in a simulation to prepare you for live accounts. It is a tool of substance that will help you become a professional. It's the whole purpose of the exercise. So don't think that a practice regimen demo account is not useful, because when you start thinking about any professional job that has to do, and especially when you got other people's lives at your hand, the lives of the people that you're taking care of are the people in your family. You're trying to leave a legacy and build a portfolio and a bankroll to make sure that they have something left under these unusual times. So use the simulation, get into the simulation as much as you can, get put into current market conditions, see what takes place, see what happens, and then test what you would do under that situation if you were trading live. And Brian, I'll turn it back over to you, my friend.
All right, thank you very much, Forex Joe. All right, well, that's it for me. If you guys have questions about what I did or why I did it, please put them in. Otherwise, I think, as Forex Joe said, we've done quite a bit going through this and getting everything explained for you guys. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I don't see any questions in here, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. Do print out your daily regimen. Follow that every day when you're trading. It's going to really help you have a consistent approach to the market. Doesn't mean you're going to win every trade, but it does mean you'll have a consistent approach, and that's what we need long term. We're in this for a marathon. It's not a sprint, so we want to have those consistent wins, keep our losses tight, and the rest is in the books. All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll see you guys next time. We have our next class on Thursday. We'll see you then. Have a great one. Bye.